Good morning, everyone. It is Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the severe weather threat for the Ohio Valley. And what's most interesting about this is that we actually see the NAM model starting to show more of that cape and instability, even that wind shear get extremely high across portions here of the Ohio Valley and Midwest. So if we really see that as we do head into Friday this week, then we will likely see a big setup for severe storms across portions of the Midwest, which will be Iowa and Illinois, heading into the Ohio Valley, which will most likely be the western Ohio Valley, okay? So, we're first going to be starting off with how the severe weather threats are looking like, and as you guys can see, not really looking like we have a severe weather threat yet for the Ohio Valley. This would be the day that we do see it get issued on, or even Friday, rather. So day 4 would be the day that we do see a marginal to slight risk get issued on, and as you guys can see, we do not see any threat for severe weather, which is good. But I feel like we should, because just take a look at this, guys. We're going to go to the NAM model, because usually you want to take a look at the mid to small range models on the Cape, because they do a little bit better job compared to the GFS model. And that might sound a little bit weird, because I tell you guys that the European model and the GFS model were the two best models to go off of. Well, for Cape and instability and as well as wind shear, probably you would probably want to go on the mid-range models, which would be the NAM, and even some of the other models like the let's see, what was another model, like, or the HRRR model. So HRRR model would be another model to go off of too as well, if you're wanting to know the Cape, but it doesn't head as far out though. So if we look at the NAM model, guys, wow, dude, look at that. 300 joules per kilogram in Illinois, and then we even got this widespread area of around 200 joules per kilogram, maybe a little bit less, but still around 200 joules per kilogram for much of these areas, guys. This is just pretty widespread cape across Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, pretty much the tri-state area right here could experience some pretty good thunderstorms as we do head into the weekend. You don't need a whole lot of cape to get one boom rumble of thunder to wake you up in the middle of the night. So it doesn't take a whole lot of cape to really see that happen. But if you're talking severe storms, you might want a little bit more, but you still have enough to get a thunderstorm going. And here's what's most interesting, guys. Let's go to the GFS model real quick. GFS model doesn't want to show the cape moving through Indiana until later Friday or even into Saturday. So the NAM wants to show the cape going in Friday, which would most likely be the later part of Friday, while the GFS model wants to show the cape coming in later, and this would be as we head into Saturday. So the models want to show the cape coming into this area at a different time, it looks like, and it even in the GFS model wants to show that cape strengthening across the Kentucky and Tennessee borders, and then that will finally head out, and then it doesn't really show any other cape than that. But I mean, like I said, it doesn't take that much to wake you up in the middle of the night, because look at that, 100 joules per kilogram. That is plenty, guys. So I mean, we'll see if the cape chooses to increase. That will be something to keep an eye on right there. But let's actually go ahead and look at the wind shear, okay? Let's see how the wind shear is looking. So for the wind shear, we're going to go to the mid-atmosphere, which would be 500 millibars. We're going to go to wind speed, and wow, dude, the GFS model wants to show a ton of wind shear across this area right here. So all of southern Indiana, all of southern Illinois, heading into Missouri. does have the chance to really just really see the thunderstorms ramp up quite a bit, guys. So I mean, it really is interesting to see the chance for thunderstorms ramp up quite a bit across this area right here. But like even over here in the portions here of Ohio still has some wind here to work with. There might even be some bubbles of Cape over in that area too as well, but this will be our main focus as we do head into Saturday, if why not even on Sunday possibly, but I think this will mainly be on Monday. So make sure to keep that in mind. If you do have any travel plans, this will most likely be on Friday, but we'll still see if it plays out to be on Saturday or even Sunday. Let's actually go back a few hours, and it actually still shows a ton of wind shear across those areas as we pull this back. Still across Illinois, portions here of southern Indiana, even northern Indiana too as well. So like I said, very interesting wind shear with the models. Let's go to the NAM model. And wow, dude. Wow. Look at that, guys. 100 knots of wind shear. And let's read this. It said, valve time has changed. The previous valve time was unavailable for the NAM. So, pretty sure that means the NAM is like changing or it's like doing something, but thankfully that went away. But as you see, the NAM like really started to show that wind shear getting pretty strong, guys. That's a little bit bullish, by the way. So I don't think we're going to see this strong a wind shear, but like if you look at the yellow colors, I think this is about where we're going to be, because I mean we do have some pretty good model agreement on us having a ton of wind shear, guys. So wind shear is definitely checked off because we got plenty of model agreement for that. Let's look at the European model and see what it says. And yes, again, guys, European model wants to show a ton of wind shear too as well. So we got a ton of model agreement on us having wind shear. So that is definitely checked off. Let's see here. I want to go back and look at the Cape and let's see what the NAM shows again. We're going to go to convection and we're going to go to, let's look at the supercell composite. So wow, dude. Wow, the NAM actually wants to show a pretty high chance for some supercells across this area. Look at all this green and yellow heading from, let's say, portions here of northern and central Illinois all the way back down into northern Mississippi, rather. So, I mean, it is really interesting to see the NAM model really want to show a lot of this supercell composite, which indicates the chance for thunderstorms in supercell. So, like I said, it is really interesting to see the chance for lightning, thunder, and supercells as we do head into Friday, as you can see. But if we take this back, as you see, it is out. Let's see what it says as we head back. Wow, dude, it still shows a ton of supercell composite. So it's like it starts developing here in northeast Oklahoma, and that just continues into Indiana. So we could have like a severe weather setup kind of like this, possibly. So I mean, there's still a lot of questions on how it plays out, but I mean, severe weather threat could definitely look something like this on Friday, if why not even just like it will be. Like what I'm trying to say, that might be this wide because of what the NAM wants to show, but like even some of the Cape wind is here into northern Illinois, so it even could be something like this too as well, if why not the entire thing. So I mean, it's really interesting to see like the NAM model really show all that Cape, and it could even be this big, guys. So I mean, lots of uncertainty by this point, that's for sure. But the only problem is that the Cape and instability are like maybe a little bit low, but like I said, it's still enough to do a boom of thunder that can wake you up in the middle of the night. So I'm pretty sure that will be enough to propose some thunderstorms. And like I said, with the NAM model, it really wants to show this whole area right here getting a lot of supercell energy for some thunderstorms, and as well as severe thunderstorms. So we'll see if this is really the case, guys. But I mean, I think the NAM and maybe a few other models are going a little bit bullish, okay? But we'll see if this is the case. I wish it wasn't the case, but if it is, go ahead and start getting prepared if you think this is really going to be the case as we head into Friday, guys. But if it's not, then you're probably okay to not get prepared till Thursday, because Thursday, which is only a day out from Friday this week, would be the best day to look at these, but it's Tuesday right now, so we are looking a little bit farther out. Now, if we look at the excessive rainfall outlook, guys, as you guys can see for day one, we do have a slight risk for flash flooding across portions here of the southwest United States. This includes places like Los Angeles, heading into San Diego, and then we even have another slight risk for flash flooding across Yuma, heading into Phoenix, even back up here towards almost Las Vegas, at least heading towards Las Vegas, but even like Las Vegas and Henderson included in a marginal risk for flash flooding. And look, guys, this even heads into St. George, Utah, so pretty widespread across at least let's see, 4 states included in a threat for flash flooding. Not all of the state, but some or even a portion of the state included in the threat for some flash flooding. So very widespread setup for flash flooding, especially because it includes more states, like I said, but we're definitely going to have to watch closely, especially this area and this area, okay? So make sure to keep that in mind, that as we head into day 2, we continue to see threats for flash flooding. Day 3, still going on for Arizona, and then on day 4 and 5, we don't see any threat for flash flooding at all. So we'll see if one does develop, because like we've been talking about, the Ohio Valley is really seeing those chances for a supercell develop, and that would be on day 4, is if we see a flash flood threat develop with that severe weather threat. But like I've been telling you guys, there's still a ton of uncertainty about how it really plays out, guys. There's just a ton of uncertainty by this point. So it would be really interesting to see a severe weather threat, but the only problem is that we don't know if the models are trying to go bullish or not, because didn't you look at that wind shear, guys? That wind shear was still extremely high, guys. Look at that wind shear in the middle of the atmosphere. Gosh, that is a lot still. So, or we're heading at least in the very low part of the atmosphere, but like still, the middle of the atmosphere, the model really wants to go pretty high on that. Look, over 100 knots also can be known as almost 100 miles per hour. And look at that, even more bullish on the 250 millibar, which is all the way up into the higher part of the atmosphere, guys. So it's just really interesting to see how much the NAM model can put out, because like I said, I don't think this is going to be the case. I just think that supercells will be possible, especially because the NAM model was showing that. But like I said, they're showing so high of CAPE and as well as wind shear that I don't know if this is going to be the case, guys. I'm just going to say there's quite uncertainty still by this point. We're still trying to figure that out. And same goes for the Storm Prediction Center. And they haven't even been talking about that, guys, which they should, because it's really a possibility that we could get severe thunderstorms in those areas. But if we look at your total precipitation, which heads all the way out to Monday, February 12th, as you guys can see, we do see some precipitation down here south of Indiana, which could see around 2 to as much as 3 inches of rain, mainly across Tennessee, but also heading into portions here of Kentucky, Virginia, and as well as West Virginia. But it's looking like we may see less precipitation with these severe thunderstorms, but if we do see a severe thunderstorm, that could produce an inch of rain or 2. But like I said, we're still trying to figure that out. I'm just saying there's still some uncertainty about how it really plays out, but we do have enough information to where we do know that something like a severe weather potential could unleash, or release rather, but still, we're going to have to really watch closely. Now, if we look at the total snowfall, as you guys can see, mainly staying out to the west, not really seeing any snow across these areas. Maybe a trace across places like Kansas, Iowa, and as well as Nebraska, but other than that, not really seeing much out there. Maybe even a trace for portions here of New York, maybe even a trace here in Illinois, but other than that, not really looking that bad, so we'll see. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. We did talk a lot about how the severe weather threat could be, and like I said, we are still really trying to figure out on how it could really play out, but like the only problem is that it's showing so high of a cape. I feel like it's being a little bit bullish, which it might be, but hopefully it's not. We'll see if this is really the case, but if it also continues to show it as we head into Friday, then it will be a big deal, guys, but we'll have to see if it shows that as we get into Friday. But like I said, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will do one tomorrow.